Hi everyone, Tori here with another scrapbooking process video. Today it's called My Daddy Makes Me Laugh. I'm using this awesome photo of my dad and this great Ashley G paper from the Studio Calico February Cirque kit and also a black piece of cardstock. Now, I like this yellow paper, but it's a little busy for a background for me. Actually, okay, that's a lie. I love busy backgrounds, but I just didn't like the yellow all over. So I was trying to figure out how I could use it in a fun and interesting way. So I went to my Pinterest board and also my inspiration board on Studio Calico. And one person that I find super inspiring is Paige Evans. She makes such amazing pages. So I looked at a whole bunch of Paige Evans pages, and a technique that I've seen her use a couple times is where she weaves paper strips together to make sort of like a basket weave. So I decided I'm going to do something similar with this paper. So if you want to see more of Paige's pages, I'll put a link in the description below. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking this yellow Ashley G paper and I'm cutting it into strips, and each of the strips are about 1/2 inch wide, and I did cut the whole entire page, but I didn't need to. And then when I'm done that, I'm going to cut the black paper into strips the same width as well. So I've super sped this up so you don't have to spend a really long time watching me cut paper into strips. With the black, I decided to just go about halfway and save some of that black because I was thinking I might map my photo. When I was done with that, I got my white piece of paper all ready to go because that was going to be my background. And here I'm just trying to decide which side of this Ashley G paper I should use. Should I use the yellow side with the flowers, or should I use the pink sort of watercolory crazy background? I did like the pink side with the photo, like it actually matched my dad's shirt really well. But I love the black and the yellow together. I think it just is so pretty. And I think it looks really retro, which is sort of funny because the glasses my dad's wearing in this photo booth photo are really retro too. So I thought it would work well to have like a retro background with a retro sort of feeling photo. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adhere those black pieces of paper first with just a little tiny bit of adhesive on the top edge, and I'm going to adhere a whole bunch of those to the page. Now, when I originally started this, I thought I would cover the entire white cardstock with strips of paper. But you'll see here in a couple minutes that I sort of changed my mind and just decide to do the bottom quarter of the page. I was sort of liking how it looked diagonal and how it wasn't covering up the whole entire white space. And I also thought it might create a great place for a title and some journaling, so I decided to just stick with that. When I was done with the black, I start putting in the yellow strips of paper, and the way that I'm doing that is just going over, under, and skipping every other strip, and then the next strip I do the opposite so that they sort of make a basket weave. I'm just going to skip ahead here in a second just because it took me a while to do that, but you're seeing here the end product, and I'm just squeezing all the papers together because I wanted them to be really tight. I didn't want there to be any space in between them. And I love the way that this looks. I think it looks so retro, and it's such a fun way to use paper in a different way. All the times I've seen Paige do this, she's used like different colored papers and has mixed many different colored patterns, and that looks super cool too. But I love how these yellow and black are creating this retro pattern, and how it also just looks so bright and happy. So what I'm doing now is I'm just putting more adhesive behind the back just to hold that whole segment down. And I'm just going to put down some pieces so that they are held down and it's sort of strong and sturdy. Because originally when I had done this, I just adhered those black pieces. When I was done with that, I'm just cutting off all the excess black paper on the two sides just to create a nice straight line. I think this is like an awesome technique that you could use if you had a really busy background paper and you wanted to sort of find a way to use it, but maybe use it in a smaller amount or something. So I had all these strips left and I was trying to figure out how I might be able to use them, but I decided I just liked it the way it was, so I'm going to keep the page the way it is and not add any more strips of paper. In a moment I'm going to add my photo, but let me just tell you a little bit about it. This is a photo of my dad that was taken at our church. Every year at our church we have a chili cook-off, and they decided this year to do a photo booth. So at the end of the day, my dad, who is the pastor of the church, crazy as he is, grabbed some props and decided to take some photos with the other pastors, which was really funny. But I snapped this one with my phone, and I love the way it turns out. I think he looks so goofy, but I also think it totally sums up who he is and what kind of guy he is. I was having a hard time deciding what to do with all those extra papers. Should I cut them off? Should I leave them? So I decided I'm just going to map my photo and go from there. So I mapped my photo on some white, Nina white cardstock that I had left over from another page. And I am going to layer that right on top of that, I guess it's sort of checkered pattern, and make an embellishment cluster there and then put my title in the other corner. So I felt like I wanted to layer something under the photo, so I grabbed one of my favorite embellishments, doilies, and I'm going to use those to just create another layer underneath the photo. And I didn't have a doily that was big enough, so I'm going to end up using two of them and cutting them both in half and then layering them on all four sides of the photo, and it ends up looking just like I have one really big doily behind the photo. And this is where I'm sort of trying to figure out how I'm going to embellish the rest of the page. So I'm going to go through the rest of the embellishments and things that I had in the Cirque Studio Calico kits this month and try to figure out what could fit there. I thought I might use that black banner or a black tag, but I didn't like either of those. Then I pulled out these sequins and I thought they could look good. I used them before on another layout, but I wasn't really happy with them. Then I was like, maybe some more yellow, but I really struggled to figure out what to add to this layout because I love that background and I didn't want anything to really take away from it. I thought for a while I might use these pink tags because they're also sort of adding to that retro feel, the pink, the yellow, and the black, but I end up not using those. So I am going to use one of these black and gold label stickers, and the one I'm using says "So Much Fun," and I just stick that at the bottom of my photo. And I love that it adds something there, but it doesn't really take away from what's going on in the photo or the background or all the work that I've done. So I am going to keep that. And then I'm going to play with these pink labels for a long time, but I just can't make up my mind. So I'm going to speed that up a little bit so you don't have to watch it for a really long time. I thought about cutting it out of the video, but then I realized that that's, I don't know, it's just not part of what happens. So in truth, I play around with things for a while trying to figure out what to put where and can't make up my mind, and so I'd rather just show that to you. So what I did add there was I added some silver sequins to either side of that label sticker that said "So Much Fun." I used two silver ones, and I am going to end up using more sequins throughout the page. And now I'm going to add my title, which is "My Daddy Makes Me Laugh," and I am using these gray alphabet stickers that come from the Dear Lizzie Serendipity line, and I think they're called Soar. And I received these in one of the add-ons that I got this month from Studio Calico, and I love them. I've already used them on one other layout, and there's so many letters. Like, I feel like I could still make more. I think I do have to borrow one letter from a second set of these alphas that I had, but I have two of these because I just love them so much. And I might go back and buy a third, but maybe I'll wait till I finish one of them first. It's totally a scrapbooker who would buy like two extra sets of alphabet stickers because you love them so much, just in case they might run out or go out of print, even though they're brand new. I don't know. I'm crazy like that. So then I grabbed these black puffy stickers that were in the shape of a heart and tried to figure out where to put those. Originally I thought I might put some around the photo, but I actually sort of like them around the title. I feel like they draw your attention to the title too. and I love them. And then I'm going to add some silver sequins and sort of go with a random sporadic look. Now, if I try to be random by placing things, it doesn't look random, it looks too contrived. So this is a lesson that I learned, I think, on another YouTube video from someone else. Just literally take the sequins and take however many you want and just drop them on the page. And then glue them down. As long as they're not covering up somebody's face or something, glue them down. And that's what I did. I might have added one more to a corner where there wasn't one, but I basically just kept with wherever they fell, that's where I glued them. And I'm happy with the fact that it looks random and it's sort of all over the place. So if you're wondering why my title is My Daddy Makes Me Laugh, I don't know, I felt like the layout was playful and fun and sort of childish, so I wanted to go with a childish sort of title. I could have put My Dad Makes Me Laugh, or I could have put something else, but it was just playful and childish, and so I wanted to go with something similar. And I really like the way that this layout turned out. It's pretty simple, like there's not a lot going on, but it looks great to me. And then I'm just finishing off the page with some journaling, which I'm doing with my black 0.1 precision pen. And I'm just talking about what I've already told you about the photo. Basically that my dad grabbed this frame and made this pose all on his own. I'm going to finish off the layout by stamping the date. And the date was March 22nd. And then I still have to decide what to do with these extra pieces of paper that are just sort of flying up. But I actually like them, so I decided to add some pop dots randomly underneath some of them so that they would have that dimensional look. And I'm really happy that I did, because it sort of adds to the playful, whimsical appearance of the layout. Anyways, that's basically it. The page is done. Thank you everyone for joining me, liking, commenting, and subscribing. It means a lot to me. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!